I joined a big custody bank about 6 years ago. I got faced with a slight problem that was called technical debt, right? And at one point I have to go back to the board of directors and try to explain to them why I needed about 50 or 70 million dollars to actually fix the problem. And their question was, what is the problem, right? And you have to go in with a bunch of spreadsheets and try to explain to them how through 16 years or 20 years of running operations and not feeding that beast, it came up to having a technical debt. And they still could not understand it, right? There was no normal number that you could put into it. It's not like a speed limit or a green and red that people would understand it. And unfortunately, it came back to a financial conversation that says, you know what, I'm going to give you $100,000 or $1 million. What are you going to do for me? And there was no way to be able to go ahead and quantify it, right? And then I'm looking at Apexa IQ, right? That's something that I could actually go ahead and say, hey, the temperature of our infrastructure is at critical or is at medium level. And then people could actually understand that. And they could actually hold you responsible for what you're supposed to deliver. I could go ahead and say, look, you know, $100,000 is going to take you from green to less green or from red to less red. And at least you have that number, that Apexa IQ score that will tell you exactly where you are.
So Constantine, would there be any advice that you have for the chief technology officers or CIOs of the world today of how to manage their technical debt?
Absolutely. You cannot disregard the foundational element of what is in your infrastructure. We have a lot of tools out there today that will do all the security holes that you're exposed, but if your infrastructure is not good at the lower level, if you're not up to patch compliance, if your hardware cannot take the new patches, it's a moot point. There's nothing that you could do without understanding that you're clean to start building your skyscraper, right? And that's where Apexa IQ comes to play. It's that layer, the foundational layer that tells you that you're solid, you can start going from where you are. Why Apexa? Because I don't want to ever go into a board meeting with Excel spreadsheets ever again.